Okay, so today we'll see uh, the MongoDB CRUD operation. Right. In the last lecture that we have been discussed about the what is the NoSQL, what is the MongoDB. We have been also discussed the basic theory of the MongoDBs. We have been also seen that how to install the MongoDBs. Even we have been also start a little bits that how to actually work with the MongoDB with some example as well. Today we'll see the CRUD operation of the MongoDB. CRUD operation is a C stands CRUD. C stand for create a database, collection, and documents. Right. Actually, we are not able to create the document. We are able to write the documents. Right. So create the database, create the collection, and write the documents inside the collection. That is a CRUD operation. So C stand for the create. R stand for the read documents. Read the documents which you are installing into the collection. Then U stand for update the documents. If we need to change something, so we can change. And the last one, that is a delete documents, or we can call the remove the documents. So we'll try that today. At least we are able to complete that C and R, at least C and R, how to create and how to read the collection, or sorry, documents of the different ways. So that we'll try to complete today, and if the time will be there, then we'll complete U and D as well. Else we'll see on the next session. Okay, so first we'll start the my Mongo. So that is inside the program file, that MongoDB, the server. So inside the bin that I have a Mongo. So that's shift right click, open the command window here. So I will start my server mongodb.exe. So server is started. Then I will start my client over here as well. That is a mongo.exe. Okay, so this is my client, right? So okay, so dbs, sorry, so db. Okay, what happens that, okay, so dbs, it's so dbs, okay, so dbs. Okay, so inside the database, the three databases are given by default. That we discussed in the last session. Today we'll see again that when you are writing a so dbs, so by default it shows the three databases. One is the admin, second one is a local, and third one is a config. Three things is there. Admin contain all the system relevant collection, sorry, documents. They have all the system relevant documents and collection. This database has a system relation database collection. They have system related collections. That's why in the last session that we have been discussed that when you drew the any database name, right? So they are not able to write the database name with the system. Why? In the last session that we have been discussed that we are not able to write the name by the system. Why? Because the system collection is already created by the MongoDB itself, which is inside the admin database. Then local is contained all the local configure file or configures data. Sorry, in local that it's all local log contained by the local database. All the local log which you are whatever you are doing with this Mongo, this all the log will be generated, and that all the log will be managed by the local database. And the config name is said that it's contain the configurations relevant collection and documents. It's our configuration relevant config collection and documents, right? So this three database is driven by the Mondo itself or Mondo database itself that we are not creating. This database which we are not creating, it's driven by the Mondo itself. Okay, now the next thing that how to create the database. So for that you just need to write use and your database name. So for example, I will give them a database name that is called the EMP, or we can call the employee. Employee is my database. It's when I press the enter, so it said the switched to DB employees, right? So it's automatically transferred from the now into the employee database. The cursor will be transformed from the MongoDB database to employee database when we return the use employee, right? So behind this process, all the process, there is one cursor is there which moves around the which move around the whole database, right? So they are just shifted that point. A cursor just shift that point from one database to another, one collection to another, one document to another. So there is a cursor is there which point out the whole MongoDB's database. When we call about the database, that means collection and document automatically inside it, right? I don't understand. Then after we need to create the collection. How to create the collection? We don't know. I don't know that what is the basic methods of the create the collection. I don't know which method I will use. So what I need to do, the db dot and the press the and tab. When I'm just written db dot and tab, db dot then tab. So all the commands which you are written by the db dot, all the command which you are written by the db dot, that given by the Mondos as a help, which given by as a help. You can see that for creating the collection we use the create collection. So that is over here, the db dot create collection, right? Then we'll see that for examples that if we want to see the collection details, so that collection is there, we need to get the infos, the collection info is there, right? So this is the difference. I want to drop my database, so there is a db dot drop database is there, right? Which user I am using, to that users details that I can get, right? So all the details which you are used for database operations, for the database operation, that you can find out by the db dot tab, db dot tab. When you return db dot tab, so all the relevant method of the database that you can find out over here. Then another thing that is I am using the rs dot tab. So this rs dot c it's provide the all are the replication relevant the methods that we'll see later on, not right now, but it's also provide the replication relevant the methods. Then we suppose we use the shading the data, so that is sh dot tab. So this provides the shading methods. Shading is a concept. Shading is a, for example, shading, we heard the word about the shading the data, right? So relevant the term here over here is called the shading, that we'll see later, right? So basically three main thing inside Monroe to learn: what is the database relevant command, what is the application relevant commands, and third one, that is the shading relevant commands. And all the commands you can listed over here. You can see these all are listed over here. If you work with all these commands, that means you are a master with the MongoDB. You will be a master of the MongoDB if you are able to work with these all the commands. I understand, right? But we need to work with only a database command right now, so we'll use the db dot. You need to press the tab two times and the tab two times. So db dot tab. So you will find out this all the hash. Suppose now I want to use that db dot and you just find out over here that this is the case sensitive. The MongoDB is all about the case sensitive language that we haven't already discussed. MongoDB is what? The case sensitive and type sensitive. MongoDB is a case sensitive as well as the type sensitive, right? So you can see here that create collection, you can see the method name create collection. Inside that you can find out the C in the small characters, and here the C is capital characters. So whenever you write the methods of any database, whenever you are using any methods of the database, right? So the first words start with the lower, and then all the remain word of the first character will be capitals, will be a capital. For example, you can see here that db dot grant role to role. So G is a small, then after all the word has a first character capital. R is a capital, T is a capital, R is a capital. So that should be kept in mind, because this is a case sensitive language. If I am written the create collection in the whole into the small, so that is a different thing, right? So you must need to follow these rules, because it is a case sensitive language. Capital and small both are different things. If you write the capital A and if you write the small a, both have a different values. Both have a different value, because both have a different ASCII values. As far as the ASCII form, you can see that both have a different ASCII values. A has a different ASCII value, A small has a different ASCII values. In the same way, here the capital A and small a has defined as a different values, are defined as a different values. Right? So keep in mind that MongoDB is a case sensitive language. So you must have to follow the rules with the trace as well. You must keep in mind all the traces, that this is a capital letter, this is a small letters, right? Then now we need to create a we want to create a database that we have been already created. Which database I have been created? So just see that DBS. So I have been created a database that not listed over here. Which database I have been created? That is employee. This we'll see. So I have been created use employee. That means I have been created an employee database. But that is not listed over here. Because why? Because employee, whatever database you have created, they haven't any collection. A database haven't any collection right now, right? So you need to put a collection inside the database. Then and then it will listed over here. Then and then it will listed over here. First you need to create a collection inside the database. So I have been already created the database, that is the employee. Again I will use it, that switched to the DB employees. Then now I will use the create collection. So DB dot create, then tab. Then you press the tab, Suppose I just forget that db dot create it, okay, then after what I need to write, I don't know. So just press the tab. So it will show the by start with the create word. How many method is there in the database? So that is a db dot create collection, then db dot create role, then db dot create users, then db dot create. That is total 4 method is there, right? Which start with the create word, right? So I need to create the collection, right? So what I will use the create collection, create collection. Then I need to create the collection, so I made a collection name. I need to return the collection name. So inside the employee, I have a collection that is a emp underscore info. I have a collection inside the employee that is the emp underscore info. Then I'm only press the enter. Okay, so it shows the OK1. It shows the OK1. So it's just the acknowledgement message. It's just given the acknowledgement message. 1 stand for true, 0 stand for false. If your query will be executed successfully, so is return the 1. If it is not successful, so is return the 0. Simple. Right? Because they are just given the acknowledgements. Right? Suppose you will write 1,000 of records. Suppose you will write the 1,000 of document inside the collection. Suppose you will write the 1,000 of document inside the collection. So they just did the acknowledgement that all the documents are written inside the collections by giving the 1 or 0, by giving the single message, by giving only a single message. They are not giving the individual message. They are the MongoDB will not provide the all the records individual acknowledgement. They give a single acknowledgement for the all the records, for the all the records, right? So the quote is the said that your collection is created. How I can satisfy that OT is right? So it's give the value that is 1. 1 is stand for the true and 0 is stand for the false, right? Okay, now I will check that now it shows my database or no. So it's a show dbs. Okay, okay, the employee is there right now. You can see the employee is there. In the first query, employee is not there. When I am firing this query over here, the employee is not there. But when I am creating the collection, when I am creating the collection, so the employee is there. Because why? Because now a database has some values. Now the database has some values. Once the value is inside the database, so the database must have to source that thing, right? So now inside the database, how many collection is there? So how I can show? So what I need to return for that? So collection. Sorry, so collections. So collections. Here I need to use the collection s. Collections. When I'm creating the collection, I'm not return the COLLECTIONS. S is not there. But once I will try to find out all the collection from the database, so I need to use the S. Just keep in mind. Right. So inside the employee database, I have one collection that is called the employee info. That is called the employee info. Right. Now inside the employee info, once I have been created the database, once I have been created the collections. Now inside the collections, how many records is there? How many documents is there? Here that is not a record. Here it's called the documents. How many documents is there? So what I will return that db dot my collection name is what? emp underscore info. Then I need to return the to find out that how many documents inside my collection. So what I need to return to find. I press the enter. That is no document inside the collections. That is no document inside the collection. So what I need to do right now? I need to write a document. I need to write a documents inside the collection. So for write the collection, what I need to do? db dot collection name, that is called the emp underscore info dot insert. db dot emp info dot insert. Now inside the insert, What I need to write? I need to write the key value pair. I need to give the value by the key value pairs. So once I will return that name, then its value is called the, for example, of Mitesh, right? And then age, then I write like this, age, and age is 25. Okay, so now it's given the acknowledgements. See, it's given the acknowledgement, that is called the write results. Your document are written inside the collection and it's due the acknowledgement by the one is stand for the one is a stand for the true. Keep in mind, right? Now I have been created a document. I have been created collection. I have been write the document inside the collection. Now I will again find the uh, documents that whatever I have been write inside the collection, that is shown right now or not. Okay, now it's there, right? So now it's there. That is the underscore ID. That is called the index value, or we can call the primary key in a general term. Suppose I need to understand what is the underscore ID, so that is my primary key, which is created by the MongoDB by default, that I am not created. This underscore ID is not the value of underscore IDs. Keep in mind the word, the value of underscore ID, the value of underscore ID, that is the object ID. The value of underscore ID is what over here? That is the object ID. The object ID is not created by me. It's created by default, right? And here, suppose now I will write a set of records, right? So I have suppose I have been written total how many records? I have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 6 records that I have. I have been 6 document written inside the collection. It's called the employee infos. Now I will find the data. So you can see all the 6 object IDs automatically generated. You can find out over here the object ID has a total 12 byte value. Object ID has a 12 bytes value. Keep in mind. It might be asked in fill in blank that how many bytes value contained by the object ID. So object ID has a total of 12 bytes value, right? And inside the 12 byte values, first all the just except the last 3 characters, all are same. You can see these all are same up to whole 6. It's change only last 3 characters, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79 and then 7a. It's changed the only last 3 values. Last 3 value is the incremental values by 1, by default by 1. So it will change only last 3 values and rest all are same. So just keep in mind that object ID has a 12 bytes value. The size of object ID is how many size of object ID is 12 bytes. 12 bytes, right? Okay. Now you can see that is the find. Okay. Now I want to give my own ID. I want to give my own ID. I don't want to use this object ID. I don't want to use this object ID. I want to give my own IDs.
सर वो 79 के बाद सर इंक्रीमेंट 1 हो तो 7 ही क्यों?
वो चेंज होता है, वो बाय डिफॉल्ट अपने हिसाब से चेंज करता है. हाँ, वो अपने हिसाब से चेंज करता रहेगा. वो 3 वैल्यू चेंज होती है, वो जो सिस्टम बेस पे जनरेट होती है, पर मेनली उसका डिफरेंट 1 का रहता है. वो 1 का इंक्रीमेंटल पे ही चेंज होती है मेनली बाय डिफॉल्ट. वो अपने एल्गोरिथम बेस पे वो चेंज करता रहता है. पर रेस्ट ऑफ द वैल्यूज लास्ट 3 छोड़ दो आप, तो बाकी की जो भी वैल्यूज है वो मेनली सेम रहता है. वो कब बढ़े, वो कब चेंज होते, मतलब आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि वो लास्ट वैल्यू से वो चेंजेस स्टार्ट करता है. वो लास्ट वैल्यू से चेंजेस स्टार्ट. सपोज आपके पास 1000 रिकॉर्ड्स है, 1000 रिकॉर्ड्स यू हैव. सो दिस इज द 75 अप टू 90 कितना तक ले रहा है, 99 तक ले रहा है. उसके बाद वो अपने आप को 80 जगह पे आ जाएगा, वहां पे बी आ जाएगा. वो वैसे चेंज होता रहेगा. अरे वो पूरा फिल होता है देन जो शिफ्टेड अनदर है, मतलब वो लास्ट से चेंजेस स्टार्ट करता है अपने इंडेक्स वैल्यू को बदलने के लिए, वो शुरुआत से नहीं लेता, शुरुआत में वैल्यू पूरे सेम रहते, समझे आप, राइट. We'll see that kind of example when we have multiple records, more than 100 records we have. We'll see. Okay, suppose now I don't want to use this object ID which is driven by the systems, which is driven by the system. I want to use my own ID. I want to use my own ID. So what I will use, that I will give a dot comma, then give the ID, and then I will give the value of 1. Then I will give the value of 1. So here I will change the 35 and the name is, that is Vipul. Vipul is there, right? Now I will give the my own ID, that is ID is 1. So did I return? My document is written inside the collection. Now I will find out array tags. So you can see first 6 record from this output, the first 6 records what they are given, that ID is generated by the systems or Monroe itself. That values I'm not generated, I'm not written inside that. But the last record what I have written, that is called the Vipul age 35. That ID is given by me. That ID is given by me. So when you give the ID, system will not generate that object ID. So that means if you forget to give the ID, if you forget to give any index values or a primary keys, so system will generate. If you want to generate, you can generate as well. That is not a compulsion that ID should be generated by the system. If user want to give their own IDs, they can give. But the ID should be into the integers or string. The ID should be into the integers or might be into the string as well. It's allowed. Are you understand? But ID should be in array, so it's not allowed. You cannot give the ID from the array. If I have an array and I want to give that array value to the ID, it's not allowed. Else all are allowed. Else all are allowed. All the data types are allowed over here except the array. Right? Now what problem over here? That suppose I have another value, that is the Vipul 45, that is called the Mahesh. I have Mahesh, that is the age of 45, and I give the same ID. ID is 1. ID. So it shows the error. It shows the error. Which error is there? The duplicate key errors. You can see here it shows the duplicate key errors because the ID 1 is already allotted to the record. Is called the Vipul. It's called the Vipul A35. The same ID I am not able to allocate to another records. I need to change the values. I need to change the values of the ID. So what? How I can write? So I will give the 2. So now it's there. Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
सर अगर स्ट्रिंग ले तो वाइट स्पेस नहीं अलाउ ना आईडी में
नहीं. ठीक है, यहाँ तक क्लियर है सब? Are you understand? सो आईडी की वैल्यू ऑटोमेटिकली भी जनरेट होती है, हम भी दे सकते हैं, लेकिन हम जब दे तो याद रखने का है, आपको माइंड में एक चीज याद रखनी है कि वो डुप्लीकेट ना हो, दूसरी बार वही वैल्यू किसी और को अलोकेट ना हो जाए, वो आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. अगर हुई तो इट शोज द एरर, इट शोज द एरर्स. Okay, so this is the some basic thing. Okay, now you can see this kind of, suppose I want to see the output in some JSON format. I want to see the output into the JSON format. So what I need to return the find dot pretty, and this enter. You can see the JSON format. You can see the JSON format outputs, right? So pretty is there to see the output in the pretty way. We can simply call the pretty ways. Clear up to this? Okay. Now there is another concept is called the capped. Capped is nothing but the buffer values in form of the size and we can call the size and uh, records or length. We can call the length, size or length. There is one concept is called the capped. Now what is the capped? Just keep in mind what is the capped. For example, we can call that just I will open my Excel. So for example, I have one collections that should be contain only a 10 records, not more than that. That should be contain only a 10 records. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have been given a size, that length, we can call the length, that each my the collection should contain only a 10 records. A collection should contain only a 10 documents. I fixed my length. Here I fixed my length of the collections, that my collection should contain only maximum 10 records. Only maximum 10 records. Now suppose I have 11th records and I want to insert. I have a 11th records that I want to insert. So what they will do? The 11th record insert over here. It's replicate. It's do the we can call the it will change the first record to 11th one. Whatever record you are inserted first, that will be changed with the last records. Once that pool will be full. अगर एक बार उसका पूल जो आपने 10 का बनाया है और वो फुल हो चुका है और आप 11th रिकॉर्ड जब इंसर्ट करना चाह रहे हो तो 11th रिकॉर्ड आपके फर्स्ट रिकॉर्ड को रिप्लेस करेगा. तो फर्स्ट रिकॉर्ड कौन सा है? 8 नंबर का. तो 8 नंबर का रिकॉर्ड किसमें चेंज होगा? 11th में. जैसे फिर हमने 12 डाला तो 2 से रिप्लेस होगा, 3 डाला तो 13 से, वैसे वो साइकिल चलती रहेगी. मतलब एक वो कितने रिकॉर्ड कंटेन कर सकता है? सिर्फ 10 से ज्यादा नहीं करेगा. वो रिप्लेस करता रहेगा, अपडेट करता रहेगा, लेकिन 10 से ज्यादा वो नहीं लेगा. एक ये कॉन्सेप्ट है कैपिंग का. दूसरा कॉन्सेप्ट है यहाँ पे साइज. सपोज मैंने यहाँ पे suppose I fix it that in my collection size should be only a 1000 MB. Collection size only a suppose 10 record मैंने डाले और 1000 MB will be full. Once I have been written 10 documents and my 1000 MB, suppose I have been written 8 documents. Keep in mind, I have written only 8 documents and my buffer size is full. How many buffer size I have? 1000 MB. My buffer size is only 1000 MB. I have, and my pool size is 10 records or 10 documents. My buffer size is 1000 MB and my pool size is 10. Right. I have been inserted only 8 documents inside the collection. I have been inserted only 8 documents inside the collection and my buffer is full. And my buffer is full. 1000 MB is full. So what it will do? When I am trying to insert the 9th records, so what it will do? It will change the records. Means the 9th will be replicated or replaced with the first one. अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आएगा कि भाई हमारा पूल 10 का है, we have been pool size is 10 and still we have a space of 2 records, so why it's replaced? Because the buffer size is full. या तो बफर फुल हो रहा तो रिप्लेस कर दे रहा, या तो पूल अपना फुल हो रहा तो रिप्लेस कर दे रहा. But they have worked with that surrounding bots inside the bot. You just create a one bots and they will work only that area. Repeat my. But how it's done? How we can do this? So okay. So I will create another collection that is called the purchase master sales info. So one method is called the create collection. You can use the create collection for creating the collection, right? But suppose I just forget that to write the create collection, and directly I am written the cell underscore info db dot cells underscore info, and then I am trying to insert. So it's allow. Why? Because MongoDB said that suppose users are forget to create the collection, and they are directly work or they are directly start to insert the document into the collection without creating the collection. So what MongoDB will do, first they will create the collection and then it will write the documents. So on behalf of you, the MongoDB will create the collection if you will not create the collection. Are you understand? If I am not written that db dot create collection, I am directly written db dot cell underscore info dot insert. So on behalf of me, MongoDB first create sales info collection and then it will write these documents on behalf of me. Right? So if you forget, still you can directly work with the collection. If you don't want to create the collection command, if you don't want to use the create collection command, so you can directly start the insert the records documents. So MongoDB will create the collection on behalf of you. Clear? Okay. So first I will create my collection, that is the create collection, and that is called the cell underscore info. Then I need to give the size. I need to give the size. Size is equal to, what I will give the size is equal to 1000, and maximum how many record will be there? Okay, 20. Okay. Okay, what is the problem? Is there any mistake? Liberated mistake. Capped field need to be true and either the size or maximum. Okay, capped. Just I'll check it out.
collection name है उसके बाद करेगा
Wait a minute, just a minute. That is a little bit mistake is there. Okay, so just I'll see. Okay, let's see. No problem. Let's see. There is minor mistake with the syntax, I think so. So the error is called syntax error, missing colon after property ID. The property ID, where is the property ID? At the rate. Just see. so I have been already done this. Okay, so that is called the circular buffer is there, size is there, db dot wrapped. Okay, so I need to return that. Okay, that is true. That is just I need to return a capped true. Okay, capped. Okay, now it's okay. Right? Says I need to return the capped true. One thing is missing. So what happened over here that I have been created one collection that is called the sales info. It is capped is true. The size of the buffer is 1000 MB and maximum you can return a 20 records. Maximum you can return the 20. So now what I will do, I will return the records. I will write my document inside the collection. So db dot my collection name is cell underscore info dot insert and I'll return the records that is called cells. Okay, item item and the item name is, okay, so that is called the item and item name is PC and the size of the item or unit we can call the unit is 20, right? So the first record is inserted, right? So just I will find out the record is my document are written inside the collection or not. So that is a cell underscore info and dot find, right? So it's written. Clear? Okay, so just I need to write multiple records. I can use the cell script. I will use the scripting language with the MongoDB as well. So I will use the for I is equal to 1 comma I less than I greater than sorry I less than or equal to 20 and I plus plus. Then simply I will return the db dot collection name is cell underscore info dot insert in bracket. I will use the item colon value is called the mobile or I will use the unit and the unit will be I right? So what will be upon was a missing, okay, that is I is equal to 1 I less than or equal to 20 and I plus plus db dot cells info underscore info and unit 1 I. Clear? Then I, okay, so it's give the acknowledgement that your data is your document has written inside the collection. But how many documents written inside the collection?
20.
Right now, how many documents inside my collection? How many documents inside my collections called the cells info? How many collection will be there? Sorry, how many document will be there? Huh? How many document will be there in my collection called the sales info? So you can see that first record I have been inserted here is called the item PC unit 20 and another record that I have been inserted 1 to 20. Total how many record I have been inserted? 21. 1 and 20. 20. 1 to 20 and 1 already inserted. Total 21 record I have been or 21 documents I have been written inside the documents. Sorry, collection. Total 21 documents I have been written inside the collection. Now I will find out the records results. db dot the name is called what? Cell underscore info dot find. So you can see how many record we have.
20
20 only. One replace हो रहा है. One is replaced with the 20th one. With the 20th one. Right? You can see. पीसी चला रहा है यहाँ से. पीसी है ही नहीं. हमने डाला हुआ था पीसी. वो चला रहा है यहाँ से. क्यों चला रहा है? क्यों चला रहा है? क्यों चला रहा है?
साइज 20
क्योंकि हमने यहाँ पे टैप इन किया हुआ है, हमने एक पूल क्रिएट किया हुआ है, वहां पे 20 रिकॉर्ड ही इंसर्ट हो सकते. 20 से ज्यादा हम डालना चाहेंगे तो रिप्लेस करता रहेगा रिकॉर्ड को प्रीवियस वन से. फीफो ऑर्डर में, वी कैन कॉल द फीफो ऑर्डर में वो डेटा रिप्लेस होते रहेंगे. आई अंडरस्टैंड? पता चल रहा है क्या समझा रहा हूँ? Okay, so I can return that is trapped. So by default my trapping is true. Right, is true. Clear? Okay. So this is the concept of trapping. This is the concept of trapping. If I haven't a trap, then what I can do? If I haven't trap, then suppose I will use the purchase info. I have purchase info, and I am using the 1 to 100 records. I want to use the 1 to 100 records. Here I am not creating any purchase info collection. I have not created any purchase info collections. Right? I am not creating. मैं કર્યો છું ક્રિએટ નથી કરેલો ને હું ડાયરેક્ટ લખી દેલું છું. Right? So I have simply sort per info, and any other record insert that is called the mobile and unit I. So how many record will be how many document will be written inside the collection called the per info? That will be a 100 document written inside the collection called per info or purchase info. So I will find out. So just I will return that per info. So another thing you need to keep in mind, that at the same time MongoDB can display only 20 records. That cursor of the MongoDB can point out at the same time only a 20 records. Then you need to iterate. It by giving the value is called the it. It is stand for the iterate. It is stand for the iterate. So when I have written the it, the another 20 records. When I have written the it, another 20 records. Another 20 records. Then there is nothing inside the cursor. There is no cursor. There is a no cursor. So cursor is there. સાહેબ હવામાં વાત નથી કરતા, કર્સર છે ત્યાં પોતે કહે no cursor. So as the time cursor can point out only a 20 record in the MongoDB. Are you understand? Clear? Are you clear? Up to this, are you clear? Right? Then there is something that I want to show you, but already 1 hour is completed. So that is one there is one file I want to insert, that is called I have one data set. I have one data set that is called the employee info data set. Just right now I am trying to explain the data set only. I will work with this data set into the next session due to the time constraint, right? But just try to understand the data set which I will use, right? So you can read first by yourself, then I will discuss in the next session in more detail, right? So what I have been taken inside this data set. So the first thing you can see, that is the name. That is called the name. Name has a key. Name is nothing but what? Is a key, and they have three different values, and that value is also with the key value pair. So this is called embedded data type. This is called the embedded data type. This is called the embedded data. This means a key has another key value pair. A key has a, in place of the values, a tree, in place of the another values, they have another tree value pairs. They have a set of tree value pairs. They have a set of tree value pairs. Then this is the string value or character, we can call string values, numbers. Okay, now this is called array. This is called the array. Right? A tree has a multiple values. A tree has a multiple value, and that value inside the array. Array always written inside the square bracket. This is array. This is called the array with embedded data type. This is called the array with embedded data type. You can see the language has an array, and that array has another embedded data types, embedded values. A tree value pair is there. More than one true value pair. Right. So here I am trying to use this database by providing maximum data types which we can use in MongoDB. Here you can find out all the possible data type which you can use. We have a numbers, we have a string, we have a array, we have a embedded data type, all the things over here. We have a numbers, everything, integers, everything is there. Even you can use the float as well. Everything is there. So maximum data type I have been used in this document. I have been used in these documents. Right? So this I will use into the next session. Right? So I have been used these documents, and then I will perform the multiple operations. Then I will perform the multiple operation on this document. That how I can access Mahesh value, how can I access the M values, how I can access the Java values. That means how I can access the, I want to find out some records which technology language is called the Java. So select star from employee info where language is equal to Java. This type of query I want to fire. So here Java is written inside the array. So how can use? I need to find out such a employees which last name is Dhaval, that I can find out. Right? So that kind of query that will see into the next session. That is called the complex query. That is called the complex query. Up to this, whatever I have been seen is a simple query. But next session, whatever will be seen, that is called the complex query. So it's take another half an hour for performing the different query for that, and then after we'll do a remove and update perform operations, and then we'll complete all the CRUD operations over here. But another thing is remain just 5 minutes more. I will take another 5 minutes. So one command is called the find command. Another you can use the findOne. Another use you can use the findOne. It's written only a first record. It's written only a first record or one records. It's written only a okay, find one. See, this is the problem. O should be a capital. O should be a capital. Why? All the DB methods, their first word and the first character is only a small. Then rest of the word and rest of the word's first character must be in a capital. If I may use the O is small, so it shows the error. What error? That the function is not found. They don't know the find one function. But once I'm used the capital O, so it shows the error. Oh, sorry, it shows the output, right? So this is a thing once you can find out over here. The find one is just to show a single record or first record of the data collections. Then another is the count. We can use the count, that how many data how many data I have been written inside a collection. So count is there. So that is the total 100 record is there, right? Then I want to give the limit, that I want to see only a 10 records. I want to see only a 10 records. Right? So it shows only a 10 records. Right? So this kind of command is there that you can use. This is a small function. This is a small command. You can directly use over here, right? In place of the find, I can directly use that purchase info dot count. I can directly use purchase info dot count. Still, it will show the same values. Right? You can see directly like this count. It shows the same values. Right? So you can use directly count, or you can use the find then dot count. Both are same. Both give the same values. Are you understand? हो पढ़े शू समझाओ जो पता चल रहा है ना अभी सबको, और अब तक जो भी चलाया जो भी समझाया, आर यू अंडरस्टैंड और नॉट, right? So up to this we'll complete a session. Up to this today's session I just completed. To the next session we'll see a complex query and how to work with the complex query with this different bundle of data type that I have been written inside the documents. So how I can use or how I can access that values. So for that we need to write some complex query that we'll see into the next session. And with the complex query we'll also find out some aggregate function. We'll also work with some aggregate function like the greater than, less than, equal to, right? So that kind of function we'll also see, right? In, out, in, or, and, this kind of aggregate function is there, or we can call the operator. This is not aggregate function, it's called the operator. This kind of operator we'll see into the next session, right? But for the next session these all the things will be clear. If this all the thing is not clear, that means you are not able to work with the next session, right? So whenever we'll take a next session, before that you need to complete this all the thing once, at least once by your own self. Clear? Up to this clear? Okay, so it's just I'll complete session, right? So so okay.